Welcome to our channel, Master English with Kales. Today, we have a story that will help you achieve anything you want in life, be immune to obstacles, and be unstoppable. The topic of our story is he quit school and still became a doctor. Learn English with a miracle story. Sometimes the best education begins the moment you leave school. Who was David James? David James was a quiet, awkward teenager growing up in a dusty corner of the city, where dreams were often too expensive to pursue. At age 15, he had failed more exams than he could count, had no trophies on the shelf, and rarely answered questions in class. But David had something else. He had empathy, a deep, almost spiritual sensitivity to people in pain. He wasn't gifted with top grades, but he had a photographic memory, not for textbooks, but for people. He could remember the exact expression on someone's face when they were hurting. That's what stayed with him. That's what fueled his purpose. Family background and beliefs. David's family was poor. His father, Mr. James, was a bus driver who never finished secondary school. His mother, Martha, sold fruits at the roadside. Both parents believed that success could only come through formal education. Go to school, get good grades, get a good job. To them, anything else was foolishness. If you drop out, you'll be nothing, his father would often say. Books are your only way out. But David struggled in school. He wasn't lazy, he just couldn't focus. There was too much noise in his head and in his home. Childhood challenges and home environment. The James household was filled with tension. Arguments between his parents were common. Money was never enough. His mother loved him deeply but was often too tired to show it. His father, though strict, wanted David to succeed. He just didn't know how to help. David also carried a hidden grief. His younger sister, Ella, had left 2 years earlier from an untreated infection. They couldn't afford the hospital fees. That day changed something in David. He felt powerless, and he made a vow in silence. No one should ever leave because they can't afford help. That was the day he decided he wanted to become a doctor. But ironically, the school he attended never once mentioned Ella. No teacher noticed his pain. He started missing assignments. His grades dropped. He grew quiet. He was seen as lazy, even hopeless. The misfit dreamer. David James was never the smartest kid in school. He stuttered when reading aloud, forgot his homework, and failed his tests. But behind those quiet eyes lived a burning question: why do we learn if we never understand people? He quit school. One rainy Thursday, David left school. No goodbye, no plan. People laughed. You'll be sweeping streets, doctor? Please, you can't even pass English. His father nearly threw him out. His mother cried for nights.
A new kind of learning. But David didn't stop learning. He just started learning his way. Mr. Lotto, an aging pharmacist with a limp and a big heart, met David. He saw something in David. Mr. Lotto told him, "You're too young for this, but you listen better than most doctors I know." Under his mentorship, David learned not just medicine, but empathy. He learned how to ask the right questions, how to care, a mistake, and a miracle. Once, David gave the wrong advice. The patient's condition worsened. David was shattered. Luckily, his life was saved. But Mr. Lotto told him, mistakes don't make you dangerous. Not learning from them does. Then came the miracle. Two teenagers engage in a street fight that caused a dislocation on one of them. The boy was in pain. There was panic and no help. David acted. He massaged the affected part and called an ambulance. He saved a life. Then, the mother of the boy arrived and asked David, crying, "Who are you?" David responded, "Just someone who used to fail biology." The second chance. Charlotte, the mother of the teenage boy, David, saved his life, offered to sponsor him to study for a medical program. David applied for the distance learning program, rejected the first time, but the clinic and community signed a letter of support. They even raised money for a secondhand laptop. He was accepted. They didn't see grades. They saw grit. Full circle. David enrolled for other medical programs and became licensed to practice. Professionally, David was the last in the class. But today, he wears a white coat with pride. He was jeered by his classmates for failing the spelling of the word biology in class. Yet, he became the doctor his sister never had. He quit school as his parents didn't discover his pattern of learning. Yet he became the miracle he once prayed for. Today, David is the chief medical director for the Community Mother and Child Hospital. He organizes clinical outreaches to remote areas to offer medical care to widows, the aged, and to orphanages. The end. Now, let's look at the English learning points. We have 7 vocabulary used in the story, which are, here are the meanings of each of the words, explained simply. 1. Grit meaning courage and strength of character. Determination to keep going even when things get tough. Example, she showed a lot of grit by finishing the race despite her injury. 2. Dropout meaning a person who leaves school, college, or a program before finishing it. Example, he was a college dropout, but he later became a successful entrepreneur. 3. Empathy meaning the ability to understand and share another person's feelings. Example, she had great empathy for the children and always tried to help them. 4. Volunteer meaning a person who offers to do something without being paid. Example, he works as a volunteer at the hospital every weekend. 5. Wound meaning an injury to the body, especially one that breaks the skin. Example, the soldier had a deep wound on his arm. 6. Massage meaning rubbed and pressed someone's body to help them relax or relieve pain. Example, she massaged his shoulders to ease his stress. 7. Dangerous meaning likely to cause harm or injury, not safe. Example, climbing the mountain during a storm is very dangerous. For our grammar, we used past simple versus past continuous tenses. Idioms, write someone off, burning with purpose, learn the hard way. Now our thought-provoking questions are, is school important? Yes, but is it the only way to grow? No. Sometimes. Leaving school isn't dropping out, it's choosing a different kind of classroom. We will close with this quote. Success doesn't ask where you started, only how far you're willing to go. Life lessons from our story. 1. Purpose can teach more than any textbook. 2. The worst failure may lead to the best future. He failed in class, yet ruled his future. 3. Love, loss, and grit can rewrite your story. His passion to save humanity brought untold support from humanity. 4. Mentorship and community are powerful teachers. Don't ignore them. The people were his backbone. 5. School is a tool, not a measure of worth. Making the best grades is marvelous, but you can still rule your future without them. 6. Making jest of you can make you unstoppable to your goals. Hope you've learned a new thing today. So, like this story, share it, and comment. Tell us, what does success mean to you? What kind of story would you want to watch next? Subscribe to Master English with Tales for more. New episode every week.